What's up, everybody? We are back here on the channel, and today we're going to be covering Hunting Simulator 3. We've made a couple of videos about this game in the past, but today we're going to talk about the gameplay trailer. And I gotta say, this already looks like it's going to be a massive improvement over Hunting Sim 2. Obviously, I've been skeptical a little bit since they announced it because of the history of the Hunting Simulator series. However, I gotta admit, this one has the most promise of any of them. It actually looks like they made some strong efforts to make the animals actually look and move realistically for the most part. Now, obviously, they're not perfect. There's definitely some things I would change about them, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's a massive upgrade from Hunting Simulator 1 and 2. And it does look like there's going to be a lot more customizability with stuff like the UTVs, and obviously they've always had a really good selection of clothing and stuff like that. My biggest thing is like the animals look really good in this, and it also appears there's going to be rares, which is good because I don't believe Hunting Sim 2 had rares at launch. I believe they added the legendary animals later, but those weren't really like the greatest looking things in the world. So it already looks like this is going to be miles above Hunting Sim 1 and 2. And I mean, there's some really cool stuff that we're seeing in this trailer right here. I am really excited to see if this game is actually going to live up to the hype, because I am starting to get kind of excited. Because at the very least, it'll be a new hunting game to try out for a little bit, see if I like it, and hopefully it becomes something that they actually update and work on for years to come. I think that has been the downside of the previous Hunting Simulator games, is that they really didn't support them long enough for them to become a mainstay in the hunting genre. So my biggest ask to the developers, if they see this video, is please just try to support this game for much longer than you did Hunting Sim 1 and 2, because those games had potential and it was all squandered. But this right here, this looks like it could already be miles better than the other games. And if this game gets some true work done on it from feedback the community gives and new things get added, I could see this actually becoming a really good hunting game. Okay, so now that we have looked at the trailer and talked about my thoughts on this game and what I hope they do with it, let's kind of break the trailer down bit by bit. Let's go through and talk about it. Now, I'm not going to play the audio because I don't want to get copyrighted, and previously I have had issues with copyright whenever I use one of the trailers from Hunting Simulator, so we're just not going to include the audio. But right here, we got the opening scene that shows off some of the bighorn sheep, and I gotta say, these bighorn sheep look really, really good. That's a solid-looking bighorn right there. Probably one of the better ones I've seen in a recent game, and I'm pretty sure Hunting Sim 2 actually did have really good-looking bighorn as well. So, provided these ones have, more variations and details in them, I would be very excited to hunt some of these guys. I really hope that this game has some sort of a random antler generation. Only time will tell. But it looks good. This looks good. We continue on and we see some javelina in a really good looking environment. I mean, this is a pretty well done kind of deserty location. And that is something that I've noticed with what we've seen from Hunting Sim 2, is the visuals are massively upgraded. They have done a good job at creating these environments, and they look a whole lot more realistic than the first two games. As we continue on, we see a fox, which also does look really, really good. That is a gorgeous looking fox model. Really excited to see what these guys are going to be like in game when I actually get a chance to play the game. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of these animal models so far? Do you like the way the fox looks? Do you like the way the bighorn looks? I think they look good. We continue on and we see a rabbit kind of looking over. We've got some bison. We've got a coyote, which, by the way, looks really good in comparison to Call of the Wild's coyote. Call of the Wild's coyote it's in desperate need of a rework. But this right here, this is a great looking coyote model. Not too bad, man. Now let's continue on. We've got ourselves what appears to be a whitetail buck that I can only imagine is an albino or something, or a leucistic. Because we did see that later in the trailer, and I'm sure that we're really close to that, in fact. We've also got these birds flying around, and I gotta say, that looked pretty realistic. I don't know about you guys, but the way these birds are moving looks really, really good. That's not bad, man. That's really nice. We got a huge lodge that appears to be also where you get all of your gear and stuff, as they are showing off all of the weapons. We've got a really pudgy lab. A really pudgy lab. Not sure why they made the dog so fat. I mean, it's a hunting dog. It probably shouldn't be this fat, but hey. Aside from that, the face looks good at least. But yeah, maybe the dog needs a little bit of work. A little too fat. Now this part right here, I actually think is going to be really, really cool. Seems to be some customization, which is really awesome. We've got item storage, extra seats, dog storage, loadout box. I mean, you're able to just customize that to your liking. And I mean, it looks pretty solid. Again, these environments look really, really good too. It's pretty much just a across the board upgrade over the first game. I believe that's definitely better than what the tracking used to look like as well. I feel like the tracks were a bit annoying to find and didn't really serve too much of a purpose in Hunting Sim 2. But this seems to be like a little bit of an upgrade in that department as well. We've then got what appears to be a mule deer buck. Let's go back to that. That's looking solid right there. And that actually looked like two different antlers. So maybe there is some sort of antler generation because those antlers are drastically different from each other. I hope that this is a hint towards antler generation. Now, it has been a little bit since we've done the first two videos covering Hunting Sim 3, but I don't remember them talking about antler generation at all, but this kind of gives me hope that that might be a thing. After that, we move on to this right here, and oh my gosh, that is so pretty, man. I cannot remember the name of this species, but I know it's a type of oryx, so it's in the same family as like the Gemsbok would be. But that looks so good. That is so clean looking. I think the animal models really are the star of the show here, and that was a albino whitetail buck as far as I can tell. Let's go back to that again. Look at that bad boy. And again, those two antlers definitely look different. There's got to be some type of antler generation, which does get me quite excited. Not to mention, it's also exciting to see rares in the game at launch because with Hunting Sim 2, they did not have rares. And then eventually they added in the legendary animals, but there was only a few species that had them and they weren't that special. But I mean, this looks a whole lot nicer than those legendaries did. We got a black bear right here. It's a little too far away to really get a good look at the model, but it looks okay from here. We move on to a third-person view of the hunter looking around. We've got the dog carrying what appears to be a rabbit or a squirrel. Hold on. Oh my gosh, is that a squirrel? Oh my gosh, that's a squirrel, I think. It's so tough to tell. No, maybe it's a rabbit. Okay, I thought that was a squirrel tail. I think that's like the back leg of the rabbit dragging, because those are definitely rabbit ears right there. I mean, that's still cool, though. I think that looks quite realistic, the way the dog's carrying it and the way it's flopping around. That looks good. Then we've got a view of the bow right here. There's a picture of one of the elk. Again, they look a little bit different on each side of the antlers. Another thing that really does make it seem like they have a random antler generation, which is huge. Then we get a look at some of the water up close with some decoys, the elk collar, and some more environments. We got the ducks landing. And I believe these are nilgai, because we get another view of them right here. Yes, that is nilgai. Beautiful. I don't know if I like that model better than Call of the Wild's nilgai, but still looks solid. Then we've got what appears to be some muleys, I want to say. Yeah, I think those are probably some muleys. We've got the reloading of the shotgun. We've got a bear in front. We see more bison. We see a little bit of stalking, a little bit of the bow being drawn back. Overall, this just looks really good. I was very skeptical at first when they announced it, but man, after we have actually got a chance to look through this trailer, man, I am a whole lot more excited about this. Like, things are looking pretty solid, man. Things are looking pretty solid. Especially this guy right here. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this. Are you excited for Hunting Sim 3? I was kind of skeptical at first after, you know, the first few things we saw, because they could have easily just been cherry picking the best parts and showing it. But after seeing this trailer right here, I do feel like this is going to be better than the first two Hunting Sim games. And I know that's not like a huge bar to get over, because the first two were not great in the long term. But this one seems like it's going to be a whole lot better. And at the very minimum, I'll give it a try for a few videos, see how it is. And then obviously you guys can make your decision off of that. But I think this is going to be a lot better. I think this is the first time that I've seen them actually really try to make a proper hunting simulation. It does kind of remind me in ways of Way of the Hunter 2, but with their own spin on things. I think the animals are one of the biggest standouts from what we've seen in here. The animals look quite good. They've always had good variety in the clothing and the weapons and stuff, so I feel like those are going to be the key points of this. The environments look quite upgraded, but we can only really find out when we actually get a chance to play the game. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel as well as leaving a comment down below and hitting that like button before you go. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!